Hey guys, how are you doing tonight? I am just waiting for Lauren to pop on and we'll get started. But in the meantime, I guess maybe what kinds of questions do you guys have? Sorry, I'm just turning down my computer's volume before it gets really loud. What kinds of questions do you guys have for Lauren when she enters the room? Also, if you haven't done so already, go to my Instagram and there's a post that looks kind of like the YouTube thumbnail did. Actually looks pretty much exactly like it. And there's a couple of things that you have to do to enter the giveaway. So I have a copy of Lauren's book that I am giving away for free. There's no gimmicks or anything. I mean, the only thing is you have to be willing to provide your address so that I can send it to you. But you pretty much just have to go like the post, be following both Lauren and me. And then you also need to tag 3 friends in the post. All right. So currently, there's only 3 people in the drawing. So those lucky 3 people have a 1 in 3 shot of winning. It's actually 1 in 6 because they all did an extra step of sharing to their story. And they got an extra entry. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Michaela. Hey, Joanna. And Vanessa. Trying to share to my Instagrams. Yes, please share. Please share. I'm entered. Whoop, whoop. Yep, you're on my little wheel that I have. My little wheel of names to draw from. It is not too late to enter. So go ahead. If you don't have the book, go like the post. Make sure you're following both of us. And then tag 3 friends. Run and enter. Yeah, so I probably won't announce the winner until after Lauren joins us, after she's done talking to us, I suppose. That way I can have some time to like put everyone's names in that might be entering now. Hey, Nicole. BRB entering now. Run. Don't run. Just go type. I was just buying the book. It's legit in my cart. Did you read it off of, was it on KU? Because I know it's on KU now, but I can't remember if it was on KU before. But I did see it the other day. Like, I don't know. I tried to click something and it was like, it wasn't available on KU. It like said something about didn't support these formats or something. And then I went back a couple days later and it was like, it's on KU. I read it on KU. Okay. So I know it's on there now. And you actually finished it, Michaela. What was your rating? But I want the physical. Yes. The physical copy is nice. So I have started like annotating a little bit. But I really like the feel of the book. It's cute. I love the purple color. This is like my favorite color of purple. I ended up using some purple, I don't know, you can't even see them, but they're like purple tabs. I have my book of the month bookmark in here. I thought this was cute because this is the Welcome to the Friend Zone bookmark. It says friend. So that's my bookmark for this book. And it actually goes pretty well. Like this whole scheme, it's like that muted purple and pink. Also, if you hear noise upstairs, my neighbors are being really loud still. All I read it in one day. Yes, you were like plowing through books. 5 stars. Okay. That means it's pretty good. I mean, I'm liking it so far. And I haven't read any more since yesterday, but I'm on page. Actually, I did read some yesterday. So yesterday night, I'm on page 61. There's something about purple and lavender books. Yes, I think there's just something about the color purple. That's my favorite color, if you couldn't tell. So I have these are the tabs that I have. This color, purple, and then I was using this highlighter. So I think it went well aesthetically. They were so pretty. I'm going to start the book when we do sprints. I'm excited for you to start. I think there's like, I'm not trying to give anything away. So I think there's like, I was a little confused at first because I was like, who is this other person? It's on the back. Okay, so if you read the back of the book, it's there. There's like Nick, Harley, and then obviously Josie's the main girl. So I was like, who's this other person? I'm just checking my Instagram real quick. Lauren will be hopefully joining us soon. She's running a little bit late, so we'll just kill some time. Same. What do you guys think is like gonna happen? Like, obviously we know a couple of things like enemies to lovers, small town romance, and then this little quote on the front of the book has been going around. So, you'll break my heart, Harley. Have you ever thought you might break mine? So, like, what do you think is going to happen? And Michaela, don't spoil because you read it. Like, what kinds of things do you think we can expect to see in the book? Also, my partner just got home and he is, I think, eating his dinner, so he's being loud. I'm just really curious about what happened with this Nick person because clearly, so he's an ex-boyfriend. That's what's on the back. But then there's this Harley guy. So like, was there like cheating going on? Did someone break up? Did she break up with Nick? And then did she get with Harley? Like, which one's her true love? You know? So I have no idea what to expect. I'm staying quiet. Good. Not in a mean way, just because you read the book. I kind of know too because I read a spoiler a month ago or so I'll be quiet. Okay. But you haven't read the book yet, right? So you're going to read it. You're going to start it tonight, if I recall. There's 2 guys. Yep, Nick and Harley. And I know a little bit about them because, again, I'm only on page 60. Oh, you did start it. Okay. What page are you on? I'm going to start Addicted for Now for sprints today since I don't have the book and I don't want to start a new ebook yet. I have it on my Dancer and Christmas Star prompt. Yes, that's fine. So like if you're here to just do regular sprints or be productive, like that's fine too. And I know, so like I have a couple of people here that maybe don't know what a sprint is. So like I invited my best friend and I invited my sister. So they're maybe tuning in. Hi guys, love you. But basically a sprint is kind of like what I would do with you guys in real life. It was like I would say, hey, we'll like get on our webcam. We would do like Google Meet or Zoom or something. And I would say, okay, for like the next hour or whatever, we're going to work on whatever things that we need to work on. So, like for me and my bestie, it would be like notes and stuff or just work stuff. And my sister was doing like studying for homework. So, you can be productive. So, sprint is just a period of time that you are doing something. And obviously, the whole point of today's sprint is to do the reading sprints for Meant to Be with Lauren. But again, if you don't have the book or you don't want to start the book just yet, you can do a different book. You can do your homework. You can study. I know several of the book girlies have finals this week and need to study. So, like, you do what you got to do. But I appreciate you all coming for the support. I'm going to read A Court of Silver Flames during sprints. Okay, so I was trying to figure out how to say this because all the other books are like Akawar, Akamoth, Akatar. What happens when you get to A Court of Silver Flames? Because it's not the same. I have my book here. So Akofas, I guess, is the Frost and Starlight one. But what do you do for A Court of Silver Flames? Is it like Akosuf? I think I'm around 20 pages in. Okay. So you're kind of probably figuring out there's a little bit of something going on. Like I feel like I don't want to spoil anything yet because I want people to start. But obviously like after the sprint, I'm going to check in and I'll be like, "Well, where are people at?" And then if you don't want spoilers, you may just have to mute or not be here for a minute. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about like how far we got and what kinds of things came up. And I started annotating some quotes. So I was just like, "Oh, I liked this quote or this particular thing, sentence or whatever made me feel some type of way." Hi, BFF and sis. I know my bestie's on. Hi, Sarah. She texted me. But I don't know if my sister got on yet. So if she texts me, then I'll know. I meant to put, this put Meant to Be on my radar. Gotta check it out. Good. Yes, we have been like spamming it all over Instagram. So yes, this is, if you haven't entered the giveaway, it's on the Instagram. So I'm giving away a copy of the book. So if you want a copy of the book, or at least a chance to win it, I'm not giving out like 20 copies or anything, but if you want a chance to win a copy of the book, go enter on my Instagram. It's Read with Dr.B. I was supposed to start when you started. I suck. At the other Vanessa. Hi, Sarah. That's my bestie. So when I when I just said that one song, I can't think of who it's by, but it's like, "You're my best friend." Some I don't know how the rest of the words go, but that's the only part of the song that I know. And then later on, she's like, "You a real bad bee," or something like that. I'm not gonna say it. I'll just make a fool out of myself. That song comes to mind though. Yeah, we kind of do like how the Classic Literature Book Club does it. Read for X amount of time and try to get to the page to discuss. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted today to kind of be like. I really like the Roomies Digest, how they do their whole like their book club kind of live sprints and stuff. The first one I joined by them was Whispers in the Dark, and that was just whew. You guys know that book, so it was a lot. There was a lot of triggers in there. So we had, the R word, 4-letter R word, abuse and torture and just all kinds of murder, like just crazy stuff. I was like, whoa, didn't expect this, but it was a fun time. And then I missed the Throttled one. I bought it, but I haven't read it yet. And then now I'm kind of like less inclined to read it because people keep saying it's like a 3-star, and I'm like, why do I want to read a 3-star book? I want to read a 5-star book. All 5 stars. I did change my prompt for Dancer/Christmas Star, so I decided to use Addicted because it had it as my bonus. So again, for those of you who are not familiar what they're talking about, like Dancer, Christmas Star, we are also doing something called Reindeer Readathon with another YouTuber, a bunch of YouTubers actually. And basically, you know how there's like all these reindeer, like Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, blah, blah, blah. So each reindeer has a prompt, and you're supposed to read a book for that prompt. So like one of them is Dancer. I think it's like pick up a book that you put down, like you need to finish it or something. Or if you don't have that available, pick up a novella, something along those lines. And then there's one Dasher Dancer. Dancer might be the one with the curly, cursive, flowy font. So you get to pick all these different books. So one of them is like your favorite trope. So like this is Enemy to Lovers as well as Small Town Romance. I like both of those. So I would consider them one of my favorite tropes within the genre of romance. But then there's other ones too, like Rudolph would start a new series. So I started ACOTAR and then basically have the whole ACOTAR series. It's like 5 books currently. Yes. And they're thick. Like, of course, I don't have the other ones, but the first one's not as thick, but the second one is as thick as this. This is the 3rd book. The 4th one's little, and then the 5th one. So this is a series that I'm trying to get through for part of it. And then since I have this one for Small Town Romance, and then I pulled this one for the book advent, I need to figure out where this one's supposed to go. Because I kind of want to put the book advent with my Reindeer Readathon stuff. So I'm actually reading the books that I unwrap. Is it by Saweetie? I think so. That sounds familiar. Is that how you say it, Saweetie? I feel like I'm getting old. Like I don't know how to say anybody's rapper names and stuff. I don't think you're wrong. Oh, that book was something. Whispers in the Dark. Yeah. Never forget. Sweetie and Doja Cat. Yes. I like Doja Cat. She is like on my Spotify as someone that I listen to a lot, even though I don't realize that I listen to her a lot. So I guess I like her stuff. Yes, Frost and Starlight is tiny. I think that potentially what happened was Sarah J. Maas was, you know, in the thick of it, writing these big ass books. And then at some point, maybe during the pandemic, her publisher was like, okay, you need to put a book out. And she's like, okay, well, here. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no idea if that is true. But that's the only thing I can think of for like someone to put out such a small book. Maybe she had like writer's block, or maybe just needed to put something out really quickly to kind of like make money, or had some deadlines. Like I have no idea. Like I knew it was a novella, but wow. Yeah. It is teeny tiny. Okay, so Lauren is messaging me. Let me see. She said the link hasn't connected her to anything. So does she need to sign up? So I think you do. Sorry. So she should be here soon. When she gets on, we'll chat for probably like 20 or 30 minutes, and then we'll get into some sprints. How long do you guys want to do the sprints for? Do you want to do like short sprints, like 30 minutes, or do you want to do like 30 to 45 minutes, or do you want to do an hour long? I will say, like, if I do any longer than that, like, because I'm not doing like a full day thing starting at 9 a.m. in the morning, you know, like if it was like 9 a.m. starting, I would totally do like a 3-hour sprint. But I think like short sprints would be better. That's just me. Okay, she's just waiting for the link to get in. Okay, so somewhere between like 30, 45 minutes. What if I like went in between somewhere and did like 40 minutes? I know it's not in the middle of 30 and 45, but maybe 40 would be a good compromise. Because I think in the middle would be like 38. I don't know, I'm not like amazing with math, but 38 sounds weird and I just want to round it up to 40. I kind of want to change my dasher and Christmas star because, see here, this is how you say it. Akosuf. It's a quart of silver flames, but I have no clue what I change it to. Yeah, I did. Do you have the silver cover or the orange cover? I have the orange one. And that's my book that I don't like the cover of. It's not a bad cover. I also have too many books stacked up on each other that I need to stop doing this because they're all going to fall one day. But see, this is pretty. Sorry. This is super pretty. That's my random number generator book. This is the Comet book. That's pretty. But for some reason, I'm not drawn to this. This isn't, I don't know, I kind of like the silver book. Okay. So Lauren's texting. I'm texting 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 45, 30 to 45. Let me check something. I think I might need to resend her the link. She's trying to get in, but she's like, there's no lives. That's the one that's letting me invite her. Oh, you have the black and silver cover. See, that's the one I like. Okay, we're just waiting for her to pop on. Sorry. This is the day and age that we live in with technology. It's like it doesn't ever work how you want it to when you want it to. Yeah, we're doing it through StreamYard. So I sent her the link. It says like invite at the bottom, and then I copy the link and then I just send it to her and she should be able to join. It's the same thing that Christine did when she invited me to her the one that she did like not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. So she just sent me a link and I joined and she kind of went to like a little, it brought us to like a little waiting room of sorts. So it hasn't popped up for her to join. I remember it telling me that I needed to make an account. So I think she did that. She was like, I'm just waiting for them to send me the code or the link to log in, because that's what they do. Like, it's weird. They have to like send you a code every time you log in, which I don't understand, but whatever. Okay. So if you're just joining now, go to the Instagram, like the post, share it with 3 friends, and make sure you're following both of us. And you'll be entered for the giveaway. If you want bonus entries, you share the story, share it to your story. Obviously, if you like invite people, you know, if people, what am I trying to say? If the people that you tagged also do the same, then they get entered into the drawing as well. Okay, I think she's trying to log in. Ah, her browser doesn't support it. I had to use Chrome. Yeah, StreamYard's funny. How come the last book has 2 different cover colors? One is black and silver and another's orange. Yeah, so my guess is the one that I have, so I got it through Target. Ooh, it's a big book. So Target. And I don't know, Michaela, if you have the Barnes & Noble one? Maybe they have like a special cover? Ah, it is a Barnes & Noble. So yeah, I saw it on the table and I was like, I like this one better, but I already have the other one, so I can't really return it. And I don't know, I like them when they're together, okay, because they are very vibrant colors. But I like the silver color better, the silver cover better. So it is what it is. I'm sure I will love it. The whole series is amazing. Also, again, if you hear upstairs, I don't know, they were moving, they got new furniture today, and then they have like a really rambunctious kid. They've been driving me crazy all week. So that is all that squeaking and the loud noise upstairs. And this is like one of the number one reasons why I'm just like, I'm ready to move. Tell me if you can hear it, because I'm just curious. I know, like I'll do like Snapchats and stuff and send it to friends and be like, this is what I'm dealing with. I can't ever concentrate at home. Yes, Barnes & Noble. And Cass is smart. She is she reads, and she reads a lot. I think she's become more decisive lately, I will say that. It's funny because over the summer she's like, I want to start this book. No, I'll start this book. And now I think she's pretty good with sticking to books and like reading them, even while doing school. So kudos. Okay, well, I'm glad you can't hear it because I can. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so yeah, okay. Here's the tech fun now. So StreamYard apparently makes you like log into some sort of social media platform or Google or something in order to use their service. Lauren's having trouble logging into that. She can't remember password. So she's like, oh my God, it's like so difficult. BFF Book Club keeps me on my toes. Yes, BFF Book Club is like the best book club that I've been a part of. And I'm a part of, let's see, currently 4. So I have BFF Book Club, I have the Roomies Digest, Destiny's, and the Reindeer Readathon one. So I like the BFF Book Club one is my go-to. Like I chat with you guys all day, every day. And then the Roomies, I go in there every once in a while and chat, but I feel like it's hard because there's so many different channels for both Discords that I'm like, I can only handle one. Destiny's is just too many now, too many channels. And also like the age range is like much younger than who I really want to be communicating with, I guess. Everyone there seems kind of like young teens, and I'm like, I'm 31. And then the reindeer readathon is just a bunch of different people from all over the place, which is great. But I feel like it's my very specific one that I'm using for December and for this challenge. So thank you guys for joining. Okay, so I don't know what to do currently as we're waiting for Lauren to pop in. I was hoping that she would pop in a little earlier and then we'd sprint. But I know, like, you just gotta roll with the punches. So just waiting for her to log in. I wish I had like a cool game or something to play. I like BFF Book Club almost better than my own. Yeah, you gotta have fun with whatever servers you're part of. I have a bunch of Discord servers I'm part of, so a lot of you may know, I think, that I'm like super into Pokemon Go specifically, and we have like in the area that I live, we have like a huge Pokemon like fan base, and so we meet up and play together because there's certain events in real life that you have to like have enough people to do the thing. Usually it's like taking down a boss or something, a raid boss. And so like here's me being nerdy, but we all kind of like get together, every once in a while. And so that's my number one server, because that's the thing I probably do more than anything. It just requires my phone, and I always have my phone. And then I'm part of a bunch of other like nerdy gaming stuff, Discord servers that are in my area. Honestly, you guys make it great. It's really, my goodness, it's really the people we have in it. Yeah, everyone's super great. Joanna here is the leader of our book club. So every time I see your name, the Chameleon, I actually have a friend who her Discord name is Chameleon, and her name is Camille. So like I keep wanting to call you Camille, even though I know your name is Joanna. So I guess like when Lauren gets on, I asked her to introduce her book and just kind of talk. I mean, obviously introduce herself first, and then talk about her book. And I have a bunch of questions for her, so we'll just kind of go through those questions. It's not like a bunch; it's like 10 questions or so. But I was wondering if you guys might have some specific questions. Like, is there anything that you want to know from her? Maybe things will come up as we're talking, but is there anything that you want to know about her or about the book? Anything like a burning desire that you want to know? Yes. So I'm like gonna hold the comments for now. Wait till she gets here. But yeah, post them all, because then when she gets here, we will go right into this. I'm hoping she's able to get in just to reset her password and stuff, just like FML. Yeah, tech is never easy. Other than that, I guess like if you aren't reading Meant to Be tonight, what book are you going to read? Or if you're not reading a book, what are you going to be doing? If you're going to like be productive or like doing schoolwork or clean or listen to an audiobook, what are you going to do? Also, I'm curious. How are you guys with like like really short sprints? Like if someone was like 15, 20 minutes. I'm just curious. Like are you like, no, that's not enough time to like get in and okay, Lauren is in the room, but her microphone and camera are not connected yet. She's in the room, guys. Just feel like this is a really long drum roll. Takes about 15 minutes to even situate myself. I feel ya. Sometimes I'm like, I know what I'm gonna do and I'm gonna go ahead and do it, but like other times I'm just like, okay, I need to go get like my coffee or my tea or not tea, hot chocolate. I'm like, I don't even drink tea. I need to go get my coffee or my hot chocolate. Gotta go to the bathroom. Gotta like settle in, get comfortable. Like it's just, you need that 10, 15 minutes to like get into it, get comfortable. Like I would say I have a comfy chair. It's like a gaming chair. It's made for being here for a long time, but it's you still got to settle in. I want the genre to be unique and compelling. Same, yeah. If I don't end up reading, I might sit here and make edits. Are you going to be editing your Instagram reels, or are you starting a YouTube? Cass said she's going to be reading Part of Your World or Meant to Be. You haven't read Part of Your World yet? That was such a good book. I finished that in like a day. But to be fair, I did listen to the audio. I think, what was I doing? I was at work for part of the day, and the thing I was doing, it was easy for me to listen to my book, and then I drove out of town. So that was a good 3.5 hours. And then I got to we went to the beach, and I think when I got there, I listened to it for a couple more hours, and then I was done. I was just like, wow, I can't believe I read this whole book in one day. Right? I yelled at her for it. Yelling at you too. Just kidding. I'm not yelling at you. I'm the odd one out. I want to read Part of Your World so bad. You should. I think it's a 5. I want to say I rated it 5 stars, and I'm pretty sure I did. It's a good book. I think I should have tear at the end. Oh no. Okay, Lauren said, oh, she's chatting me. Okay. So she's trying to get in, but more tech issues. So she's trying to, it won't let her access her microphone or her camera. She's like, literally every issue I can think of is happening. She's going to try to get onto her phone. Oh, okay. We might have her. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
hi.
I'm so sorry. I was having so many troubles getting in.
We're so glad that you're here, and thank you so much for making the time to join us.
I'm so sorry it took that long. I had everything happened, but anyway, I finally got here.
Yes. Thank you. So everybody, round of applause. This is Lauren Jackson, the author of our lovely book that we're going to read tonight. So Meant to Be. It's like so exciting to have my hands on a physical copy of your book. Like I just keep seeing it all over Instagram, and I'm like, I just want this book, and I immediately bought it.
I really like it.
Yes, so far 60 pages in, and I'm captivated.
Oh,
So we have one person here who's actually already finished your book, and she gave it 5 stars.
oh really? Oh, I'm
Yes.
it.
So that is good news. So hopefully we all really, really like it. I know this is some of our favorite tropes. Like some of us really like small town romances and enemies to lovers for sure. So really excited to see what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, cool. I hope everyone likes it.
All right. So I know I had sent you some questions on Instagram, and I'll let you kind of take the stage for a moment here. But really, just tell us about yourself. Tell us who you are and, where you're at. Obviously, it doesn't sound like you're in the US. And I know that. But, tell everyone kind of just about you and who you are.
So I'm Lauren. I live in Australia. I'm just a major book lover. I've been reading all my life, well, as long as I can remember. I started writing stories on Wattpad, if anyone knows of that website. I started on there when I was about 14, and then I'd never written really before, like other than short stories for school and things like that. And then a few of my stories just randomly took off on there. And then I started realizing that I really wanted to do that more than just a hobby. So then last year, I started writing a book completely offline for the first time, and I wanted to publish it. So that's just been a big journey of learning how to do all that. But yeah, so this is the first book of mine that you can actually hold in your hands and buy.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you and so happy that this is like your dreams are coming true.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big job, but it's pretty exciting to literally be able to just hold the book that I worked on, like, and actually like flipping through the pages. I mean, like, I remember the moment that I was actually writing those, and now it's like other people are reading them, and like I'm seeing them buy the book and posting photos and things like that. So that's pretty incredible. Being that. It's also quite scary though as well, because it's very vulnerable. Because there's obviously going to be people that really don't like it, and that's totally fine. But it's also very daunting, like releasing the book to the world and then having other people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get kind of like vulnerable essentially. Like
yeah,
I so
yeah.
I feel like the closest thing to writing a book that I have is my dissertation. And fortunately only a handful of people had to read it to sign off so I could graduate. But it's not anything compared to writing a book that's going to people all over the world, and they can essentially give their opinions on what they think about your book. Like, woo, that's scary.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's also probably really exciting too, right? When you get a lot of the people who are, giving you 5-star reviews, telling you how much they love your book, they want more from you. I'm sure like those are the moments that are like, okay, this feels good, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, and especially the people that take the time to actually send a message and write all the things that they did like or what they found relatable and things. And it is really nice to hear that, because I think, you can get a bit in your own head, like, because it takes so long to write it, and then it was such a process getting it out. And then just even one message of someone saying, I actually really enjoyed this book, like, it's almost just like a breath of fresh air, being like, oh, thank you. Like, I'm so glad that someone has actually really enjoyed, like, the book. So
Oh, that's good. That's good. So speaking of your book, can you obviously you wrote this book. Can you tell us about it? Can you give us a little bit more other than, it's a small town romance and enemies to lovers and we've got Harley, Nick, and Josie. Like, what else?
So I grew up in a very, very small town here in Australia, and I wanted to write a book about um, what it's like living in a small town. So, you can't even go down to the supermarket without seeing your friend and your friend's mum and your friend's mum's sister, and do you know what I mean? Like, and you know them, and you know all of their names and their uncles and their brothers, and everyone, everything about everyone. So I wanted it to be like, I already knew there was going to be a scandal that took place. So the book starts with the main character coming back to our hometown after a few years, but you don't know what happened to make her leave. live. So I wanted to sort of show what it's like coming back to that small town and everything just still being the same, like all the same people being there, doing the same things at the same places, like which is exactly what it was like where I lived. And then, yeah, so it's just about a girl returning back after all these years, and she thinks she's a different person, and thinks she can redo the past and not make the same mistakes. And then it just sort of shows her journey of maybe not so much has changed with her as she thought, and then maybe that's okay. She can just actually be her true self, but you also have to find out what happened. So it's told in the present tense when she's back, but then it also shows you what happened 4 years ago to make her, but it's slowly sort of revealed, and it all comes together at the end.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, 60 pages in, I'll say that's kind of the vibe I've gotten of like she left and she came back, and now I'm like, what happened? Like, what happened 4 years ago? What made her leave, and why is she coming back, right? So, and then I'm curious to know like how these other guys get tangled up in her life, and what kind of trouble we might see there.
Yes, yeah. It is all revealed.
But we just have to wait and read.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Way, because I feel like there is a lot of people that started reading it, they would give me their guesses, and no one really has ever guessed the actual twist right. Like there's some things that they guess and I'm like, oh yeah, that is like very similar to what happens, and
Mm-hmm.
but thing I think that sometimes surprises people.
Right. Yeah, and so Joanna here is saying, I love that message of realizing it's okay to be yourself. That's true, right?
Yeah, I think it's really important. So the dedication of the book is sometimes it's okay to go with what your heart wants and not what other people are telling you to do. Because I remember like growing up, you know, your parents have very like set ways that they live, and then small towns generally like can be quite judgmental and things like that. So obviously a lot of the book is fictional, but a lot of it is based on just things that I've felt or seen and done and stuff like that. And I think sometimes it is okay to be like, okay, this isn't how they think life should be, but if it's different to you, and it's actually okay not to try to, you know, fit into the box that they live in, because that works for them, but doesn't actually work for you. So it's sort of just this main character exploring that, and I know that some people find her quite challenging in the beginning because she's so headstrong, and but a lot of people do understand that like she's just different and she's struggling with all those problems, and she's been through a lot and she doesn't really know how to express it the way that do. So some people understand that, and other people are like, oh no, she's just a really horrible character. But then it's sort of, at the end, she does have a lot of growth, and it is all about her personal about the book.
Yeah. There's so I guess speaking of characters, do you have a favorite character?
Yes, I do. Harley is just my favorite.
Okay.
Yes. If you're 60 pages in, you probably will be surprised that I said that person, but if you keep reading, I just love his backstory, and I love the fact that he is just so unashamedly like him. Like he doesn't really care what others think, and he's like, well, this is the way I want to live and this is how I'm going to live it. And he gets so frustrated with Josie, the other main character, because she doesn't want to live like that. She wants to try to be like the others, and he's like, but you're not like that, and it's okay not to be like that because I'm like that too. Like he's just like, this is how I am, take it or leave it. I don't care if you don't like it. And I think that's really a good way to be if it's not too extreme. But yeah, so I do respect him a lot as a character.
Yeah, like I would say, just kind of getting into the book, I can really understand the emotions that are going on. Like so far, what I've captured is, you know, like Josie has left, and you know, right, she's coming back, and there's a lot of feelings about coming back. There's like potentially something negative that happened that led her to leaving as well as to coming back. That's kind of what I'm getting so far. And then also Harley's dealing with some stuff too. I think he's got like 2 jobs, and he's really just working to save up money. And I believe he's living with a friend. Is that correct? Yeah. So like I can just imagine, you know, putting myself in his shoes and like working sun up to sundown, not having time for anybody else, and then like really just trying to live life. He kind of sounds a little depressed, to be honest, at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see like why he's actually your favorite character as we get a little bit more into the book.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I hope you. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, what everyone thinks.
Okay. And so we have like a couple of questions from the audience here. So I'm just going to scroll up to see what others want to really know. Okay, what inspired you to write the book?
It was actually a song that I heard called "I Hate You, I Love You." I'm not sure if anyone's heard of it, but it's by Olivia O'Brien, and it's basically like a
Oh, I
song that.
love that song.
Sorry.
I love that song.
Yeah, so do I. And I was listening to it while I was driving one day, and I was just really paying attention to what it was saying. And I really liked how she was talking about how much like there's someone that's like hurt her, and she just hates them so much, but she hates how much that she really does love them still. Like,
Oh,
and how she's so conflicted because she shouldn't like the person for whatever reason, but she still does, and then she hates herself for it. And I was like, what an interesting concept, like of feeling like you shouldn't like someone because of something that's happened. And then I was just thinking about that, and then I was like thinking about, so the main character, I already had her in a head, like I was like, she just like loves someone so fiercely, but she shouldn't. But why shouldn't she? And then all of a sudden, like I started thinking about like what it's like, living in a small town, and if something happened, and then she left, and then the idea just really took off. So, and then I just started writing it, and yeah, and then now we're here.
Are you working on anything else? I mean, I know this one just came out this year, but are you working on anything else? And are you coming out with anything soon?
Yes, I'm hoping to. So the problem is I keep starting a new book, and then I write a bunch of it, and then I get a new idea, and then I just start writing that new story. So now I've got 3 books on the go, which is really annoying because I need to just actually commit and finish one.
You're like mood writing, just as we like mood read. When we pick up
Yeah.
like 5 different books, you're like mood writing.
Well, that's and so like all of a sudden I have this huge inspiration for one book, so I'll just sit there and I'll just write heaps of that, and then all of a sudden I just my little dog's here. He's sorry.
It's all good. We love furry friends.
Throwing a toy. Yeah, and then I'll all of a sudden have an idea from a different book, and then and then I just start writing that, and that's the problem. But so one of them is a sports romance, and it's going to be like her brother's best friend. So I've already written quite a bit of that, and I think that's going to be a trilogy that can all be read as standalones. So I'm taking my time with that one because I've got to really be careful what I mentioned in the first book, because it'll be happening later in the other books. So I sort of have to know what those books are going to be about before I finish the first one. So that one's a little bit trickier. And then I'm starting to write a paranormal romance, which I've never done before. So it's very different to what I've published. But it's about a vampire and a human. So it's, which I've never written anything like that before. So it's so random. But anyway, yeah. So that's
so exciting.
yeah, so I'm hoping that people will like it. It's still going to be like similar in like age, and it's going to be a bit spicy and a bit of a mystery and things like that. So I'm hoping that people, that if they did like my first book, hopefully they will like this one, even if they don't read that kind of book. But hopefully people will like it. So I think that's going to be the one that comes out first, because I've written the most of that one.
So it sounds like you might have a favorite genre, which is romance, to write about. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, go
really
ahead.
My favorite, but I'm too scared to do a thriller because I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to write something without romance in it. So I think I'll do a romantic thriller, but I just haven't plotted one out yet. But I
That would be
definitely,
fun.
yes.
I will say, like, romance and thrillers are very interesting to read. They keep you on your toes, and you're just like turning pages so fast. But then you're like, oh my God, there's like this love story going on in the middle of it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if anyone has read Verity by Colleen Hoover.
That's the first one I thought of.
Yeah, so that's the type of thing that I want, that like it's just like a crazy thriller, but it's also like it's got romance in it. That's what I want to write. Like I just have to figure out how to like what I want yet. I haven't really got many ideas, but something along those lines. That's like my favorite to read, and I don't feel like there's that many books out that are like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I definitely want to go into down that avenue, but I just haven't got there yet.
Yeah, and I think if you can capture a certain like trope within a genre that hasn't been overdone,
Yeah.
you're golden, right? You're going to be end up like Miss Colleen Hoover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? She's like amazing. I don't know. She's on the bestseller list and a
Yeah.
bunch of
And
books.
so
It's crazy.
many of her books, like pretty much everything that she's written is like on the,
Yeah,
yeah.
goals, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cassidy wants to kind of know about like the writing process. A couple of people actually are thinking about like starting their own book and don't
Yeah.
really know like the process of what it's all like. It's not as easy, I guess, as just like writing a book and then putting it out there, I guess. So what's
Yes. So I actually thought writing the book was going to be the hardest part, but then actually that is one of the easiest parts. So then the part after that is really, really tricky because, well, I think it's easier the more books you've released. But so what happened for me is that I finished my book and I was like, okay, yep, I don't know what's happening. So I started doing my research then. And then to get an editor, I couldn't find an Australian editor, firstly. So that's probably not a problem that many people will face. But everyone was charging US dollars, which is double for me. So, for example, if they said, I can edit your book for 2,000, it would be 4,000 for me, but still they would only receive 2,000, if that makes sense. So I
Yeah.
had to find an Australian editor, which worked out best anyway, because I did sample a few American editors and they didn't really know what I was talking about a lot of the time in my book, because I have so much Australian slang in there because
Mhm.
book, and they were like, what is this? I don't understand what this is. And so when I found an Australian editor, it was a bit easier because they did understand a lot of the terminology that I was talking about. But I didn't realize that everywhere had major wait lists, because I think since book talk really took off, so many people are now self-publishing that the lists, like the wait lists, are just crazy. So I had this book and I couldn't find an editor without a 6-month waitlist. So then, I wanted to publish like by a certain day, but I couldn't even get my book edited before that. So it was really quite tricky. And then I did find one, and then that all worked out. But then to find someone that could design a cover was another 6 months, and then I had to get someone to format it, and then I had to order proof copies. So you get ordered a proof copy to make sure that it's all centered and that the spine's okay, and that the inside of the book is all like printed properly. And then if there's any errors, you have to go back to that person and get them to fix it, then order another proof, and they take weeks to come. So it's like, it turns out into this really big process. But so now what I'm doing for my next book is, when I look like I know I'm nearing the end, I will be, sorry, my dog's trying to come up.
Oh,
Um,
hi.
Say hi.
So cute.
Yeah, he's trying to play with me, but I'm not giving him enough attention, so I had to give him a little cuddle. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so I think that was quite a learning curve in the process of trying to get everything sorted and get it ready for publication. So my advice would be, if anyone is trying to write, you need to plan what's happening after your book while you're writing the book. So, for example, if you know that you want the book to be about 80,000 words, when you're nearing like 60,000 words, if you feel like you can get that last 20,000 done by a certain point, you need to start organizing my editors, designers, all those kind of things, unless you can do those things yourself, which a lot of people can. I just can't. I'm not very skilled with using all those things. So the more things that you can do yourself, the better. Obviously, then you're not paying someone and you're not waiting. But yeah, so that's definitely the biggest thing that I would tell someone else. And then you can always push back dates that you've booked in if you don't get the book done in time. But if you don't have those booked in, then you're sort of waiting around for months, like what I had to do. So I told so many people that I was publishing, and then they're like, oh, it's taking so long. And I was like, yeah, I have to wait for like a lot of different things. But yeah, definitely planning ahead for those kind of things. And and organizing your Instagram, your website, and everything before you publish your book, and having that all ready to go, because that's all a big process in itself. So I didn't have like an Instagram dedicated to my writing. I didn't have a website or anything like that. So I had to try to do all that like 2 months before my book. So it if the more earlier you can do all that kind of stuff, the better, because then you're a little bit more established.
Yeah, that sounds like such a process. I had
It
no
is,
idea
yeah,
that
it
much
is.
went into it.
It is, yeah, and then when you're trying to learn all that while the time you're advertising it and stuff, it can be quite stressful. And then and even just uploading it to Amazon, it told me that you had to do it 48 hours early, which I did. And then on my release date, the book was not live. It took a week. So then it didn't actually come out on my release date that I'd advertised, and just little things like that. It was really stressful. So now I know I'll be uploading it a week in advance, not the 48 hours, because it didn't take 48 hours. Just little things like that that'll be so much easier next time, but it's such a learning curve when you're doing it for the first. So, but I'm always happy to give anyone advice that wants to go down that avenue. I can always provide resources and things that I used, because it's very daunting, and I wouldn't want someone to just give up because it's too hard. Like there's because at some points I was like, oh, this is so hard, I don't know if I can do it. But now I've done it, and I'm like, well, it's going to be so much easier next time. You just have to be patient.
And you're super nice and responsive. Like I feel like you get back to all of your commenters and people who message you. Like I feel like you get back to people pretty quick, and I love authors that do that. Like they actually see your message and they communicate with their readers, and they really take the time to respond.
Yeah, I think that's really important, because you have to remember that the people that are buying and reading your book, you know what I mean? Like they are doing you a favor as well. Like, they're the ones that are spreading the word and talking about it. Like, I think people that make an effort to, like, some people are just making TikToks about my book, telling others to buy it and things like that. Like, they deserve a personal message from you saying thank you so much. Like, because, like that's so much effort, and it's so kind that they're doing that. And even people that are like go all the way to leave really nice reviews on all platforms and things like that. Like it's really, really beneficial to me as a writer. So, and the chats can get, like, the messages that we get can get a bit overwhelming. Like, so people like Colleen Hoover, she would need to hire someone probably to, like, go through her messages.
Like your job all day.
Yeah, so because I work really long hours. Like I start work at 7:30 and I don't get home till 6. So my days are like quite crazy. So I dedicate half an hour before I even start getting ready to just go through messages. So I'm always replying, and then I check, at the end of the day. So like I'm always making time in my day to comment back and reply to people, because I think it's really important. And I think it's discouraging for the reader to reach out to an author and then never get a response back.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to be able to talk to people, and I love having conversations with people about the books that they like and things like that. Like, it doesn't always have to be about the book I wrote. Like, I like just talking about any books.
Right. Yeah, I've seen you post a couple of other books from other authors on your own story, saying like, oh, I'm reading this right now, and I think that's super cool. Right, it's not just all, hey, like, read my book. Of course you want people to read your book, but like you're also promoting other authors as well.
Yeah, and I love when people message me and be like, oh, I saw that you were reading this book. I read one really similar that you might like. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I'm always looking for new books. Like, I just love talking about books. I could do it all day. So when someone's like, hey, I know this is random, do you want to be like book friends? And I'm like, yes, I do. I do want to be book friends, yeah. And I think a lot of people find that they don't have a lot of reader friends. So now that I've got a book club, I have met a lot of people in person that read, but most of my life I haven't had any friends that have read. So, I love talking to people on Instagram and TikTok and that read the same books. And even if they don't read the same books, I'm always happy to try different genres and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've got a ton of people from our book club in here. A couple of them had to leave, but a lot of them that are in the chat right now are from our BFF book club, and we all really want to start reading your book tonight. Some of us are like 20 pages in, some are 60, some have finished, but some haven't even started your book. And I'll put a little shameless plug in again, but I do have a little giveaway on my Instagram for Lauren's book. So if you don't have a copy of the book, I think it's on KU, And but if you want a physical copy of the book, there's a little giveaway. So I just think that I'm going to really like this book and I want somebody else to also enjoy the book. So I ended up buying a copy. Like, again, it's not like Lauren didn't pay me to like send this book to anybody. It's just, I like to gift things to people. So that was just something that I wanted to do.
I do giveaways all the time. I just love it because like there's a lot of people that can't afford to buy books, so I'm
Yes.
always like, get a book, you get one. Like I just if I can afford to do it.
Totally agree. So I do have that. What we'll do is, we don't want to take too much of your time away because I know you're busy. And of course, we want you to write more books for us. But I really appreciate you hopping on and sharing about you and your book. And of course, you're welcome to stay if you want to like join in our sprints. I don't know if you want to read your own book, but you're like, no, I'm done. I've read that so many times. But do you know the concept of sprints?
I think that you read a couple of chapters and then you talk about it.
Similar. So a lot of the sprints that we do are typically like time based. So we might do like 45 minutes or 40 minutes or something. And then we come back and wherever we are in the book, we kind of just talk about like, okay, well, what happened in the book? What did you like? Is there anything that you need clarification on? So we just kind of talk about the book.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd be sad about it. But yeah, as long as I don't have to read anything out loud.
No. You're good. You're good. So yeah, I think what we'll do is, so I've been chatting long enough, but I've been on my live already for about an hour. So I wanted to go ahead and do the sprint portion. What'd you say?
I'm so sorry that I was late.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, we need to be here at 8. But we'll go ahead and sprint. And I think I'll put the timer up for, I think I had agreed on 40 minutes beforehand. So we'll read until 48, if that makes sense. That's such an odd number. It's even number, but it's such a random number. Let me see. Read until 48. And so we'll see how far we get in the book and we'll come back and chat about it. All right.
I really hope everybody enjoys it.
Thanks for joining, Lauren.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we have sprints till 48. And I'll start joining in a little bit. I just want to go and make sure I add everybody to the, what do you call it? The wheel of names. So that way I can pick a giveaway winner after the sprint is over. So, happy reading, everybody. All right. Hello, hello. How did we do? How far did we get? I was trying to finish up here, so I got to chapter 10. And it is getting interesting, I will say. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, I just want to talk about certain things, and I don't know where everyone's at yet, so I'll wait to see where you guys are at. I'm gonna go back and read some comments. I know I missed a few, so I just want to make sure I address everybody. Okay. I know some people had some questions for Lauren, and we didn't answer. I guess she didn't answer them all. I was just trying to be respectful of her time, and hopefully she'll join us again at some other point in the future. Let's see. I see a bunch of you said hi, Lauren, when she was on. Hopefully she saw all of these as they came in. Okay, we love it. Yeah, I was really excited to see or to hear that she was writing a sports romance. I don't think she told us what kind of sport, but it'd be interesting because I feel like I'm starting to branch out into that. Is it a genre or a trope? Because romance would be the genre, but like, is sports romance I guess it's a genre, subgenre. But yeah, it sounds like super interesting. And she was saying it was going to be like a series, standalone series. Is that the one, or is it the paranormal one? But regardless, it sounds like it'll be super interesting. We all love a good romance. We also love paranormal. So yeah, when she said paranormal romance, I was like, oh, that sounds like Verity. It's like the only paranormal romance that I can think of. Well, not that I can think of, but the one that comes to mind, I suppose, like most common one, most raved about one. I love anything paranormal. Yeah, and then she said vampires, and I was like, ooh, some Twilight vibes. So love a sports romance. What do you guys think it's gonna be like? What do they have in Australia? So she'll probably write something like, not from experience, but like maybe something that she might be a little bit more familiar with. There's something that she's interested in. So I'm trying to think about like what sports are specific to Australia. That would be entertaining. Like, I don't want to say something like, I don't know, cricket, if that's is that a sport in Australia? I don't know. Cricket romance. I don't know. Verity was the book that really got me back into reading. So funny, I believe my reading took off in May of this year when I read It Ends With Us. I always get those backwards. So It Ends With Us. That's kind of when like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like really into reading. Right after that, I think I read The Seven Husbands, and then I like took off. I was like, oh my gosh, I found a ton of really good books to like just start reading, and got like really hooked on reading. I had always been really into reading, like when I was younger. Here's like one of the nerdiest things about me, but we have this thing, a program called Accelerated Reading or Accelerated Readers or something. It's AR. And basically you had to like read books, and you would take a test on the book, and you get like points for it. And it was me and this other girl. We had the top points in the whole school because we read so much. And I think she actually works at like NASA now, which is like really cool. But we read so many books that I forget how many students it was. It was like fifth grade or something, but the top maybe 10 students in the school, maybe in our grade, each grade, something like that, got to have a sleepover at the school. And I was so excited. School so much that I wanted to sleep over at school. Hey, Destiny. I think I saw on Discord that you joined right as she was leaving. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go back and respond to all my Discord um, chats and everything later. I wanted to make sure I got some good reading time in tonight. That was awesome. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the little interview that I did. Again, I was like trying to be, courteous of her time and, um, just like mindful that I still wanted to make sure that we sprinted. There's a lot on this end, guys, like trying to host and like she was texting me at the same time. And I was like, oh my gosh, my brain can't like sit here and talk and type to somebody at the same time. I'm like trying really hard. So it's like hard when you're like a one man show or one woman show. But yeah, she was super awesome. I love her accent. Like I knew she was from Australia, but I didn't know if everybody knew that. Because like when I was coordinating with her, she was like, "Oh, like that time doesn't work for me because it's like nighttime." And I was like, "Oh, wait, what time zone are you on?" And then we went on trying to figure out what time would be good for us to do this live. And so this happened to work out for her. I believe it's like noon or 1 o'clock or something in the afternoon for her currently. So luckily it worked out. She's so sweet. Yeah, I told her afterwards, I was like, don't worry about it, was fine. You were late. It's okay. Like, tech stuff happens. I know she's a little frazzled about that, but she was super sweet. She answered all of our, or most of our questions. Again, we couldn't have her for like ever, but I really appreciated that she took the time to answer questions and then kind of talk about her experience, especially with like trying to publish a book. I had no idea that like it just took a long time. I don't know if that's just because she's in Australia or if that's just kind of like the process in general, like no matter where you are, but it sounds like it's a lot harder than just writing a book. In fact, she said writing the book is the easiest part. So I have thought about writing a book, like a fun book, not a textbook or anything, but like something fun. I had always started things and then kind of got like sidetracked with other stuff. Like I think I had really wanted to get into writing when this was before like I met my partner, and I was just like, I just want to kind of write a book about someone who is almost like based on life experiences, but obviously like played up a little bit, and talking about like going on dates with people and um, like dating app experiences, but like kind of a maybe like a comic, like a humorous aspect to it, and then ultimately in the end there'd be like a happily ever after. Not me reading this in an Australian accent now. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's so funny. Um, ooh, you found a typo. Wait, you're finding typos? Okay, wait, where did you find the typo? What is it? I went back to read it and let's see. Okay, it's like the end of, for me, it's like the end of whatever chapter this is. But I didn't see a typo, but again, it could be like tired eyes. Let me know what it is. I'm just curious. Okay, so you guys, you're on page 42, 48, 21. Hey, you're 15 pages in. That's good. That's good. 15 pages is better than 0. I got to chapter 10. Oh, I put the wrong bookmark in. And that's page 78. So I didn't read as much as I wanted to. I was trying to make sure I got everybody's entry for the little giveaway. Maybe it's rugby. That's popular in Australia, right? I think so. That's what I was thinking. It's probably like a rugby sports romance, but who knows? It could be. Probably wouldn't be football because I don't not like American football because they play soccer football over there. OMG, I remember AR. I was so competitive about that. Me too. I was like, me and that other girl, I was just like checking out 4 or 5 books at a time. I'd read them and go take a test. And I'd be like, okay, can I go back to the library? Like, I had like thousands of points. It was crazy. But mind you, I was like reading, those little books. Like I'm not reading thick book. I wasn't reading thick books like I am now. The Notebook got me back into reading. That's a sad book. I read that in like college, and then I watched the movie sometime after that. And it was really sad. But I took off after reading It Ends With Us. Yeah, that was a good book. That was one of those books that I listened to. My boyfriend came in. He was like, "What are you listening to?" Because he heard like all the DV and there were some like sexual scenes going on. He was like, "What? What are you reading?" It's a repeating sentence. Okay, let's see. When her hand moved to my thigh, but it could be like that and not a typo. Let's see. I'll read it out loud in case. Hopefully I don't spoil. Okay, if you haven't got to page 35, don't listen. Just close your ears for a minute. Oh, I see it. Okay, it's like it doesn't end with a period. It just like maybe it got duplicated. So like, were you asleep? No, I lied. Good, she whispers when her hand moves to my thigh. And then it just ends like that. When her hand moves to my thigh, comma. Ooh, I think you caught one. I wonder, well, I know her book is like published, but I don't know if maybe if you contact the author, I don't know if it says it anywhere, but if you contact her, maybe they edit it. And then, so this is a first edition, but maybe in future editions, they will have fixed like typos and things like that. I had wondered that about, I was reading and listening to Asimov, and I had noticed that there were some sentences, very short sentences missing from the audio that were clearly written in the book. And so I wonder if maybe they had gone back and like added that later. So, oh, that was a good catch though. That's like good eyes. I didn't even notice that. I had read it as like when her hand touched my thigh, and then like it was a brief pause of like when her hand touched my thigh. Like it was kind of like that, not a I didn't read it as a typo, but I think it is a typo. You're on the physical copy, right, Caitlin? So it would probably be a different page number than Kindle. Maybe, yeah. But I wonder if it's in the Kindle version as well. But it could be helpful to like point out to her and just like let her know. Again, I don't, sorry if you hear lots of squeaking. They are clearly up there doing something. But maybe, I know sometimes at the back of books, they tell you like to reach out to them and let's see. She has her like about me page. Let's be social. But I don't know. It doesn't say anything. She probably does know, but yeah, I don't know. Worth a shot to let her know just in case. Let's see. The audiobook comes in abridged and unabridged for a lot of books. Oh, that's true. So this version, I have no idea what it is, if it's abridged or unabridged. But yeah, it was like very small things missing. So it would be like literally 4 words that were missing, and then it would start a sentence or a new sentence or whatever. I guess, yeah, I read your comment before it came up. I have to get used to like clicking as comments come up. Okay, so it is getting really late for me. It is 10:04 and I'm going to make fun of myself. So grandma here wants to go to bed, but grandma knows that there's a little giveaway. So let me see if I can share my screen. Let's see. So can you guys see this? This is the little wheel of names. don't think you guys can see it. No. Okay. Let's see. It would help if I click share. Okay, now can you see it? I'm like looking at my YouTube and I still don't see it. Ah, that's so frustrating. Okay, it's not letting me share my screen. So how do I do this? Okay, it's saying unlock this screen. Give me 1 sec, guys. It's like it takes a second to get to learn how to use everything. And I want to show you guys live. Let's see, a window. It won't let me share my screen. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something really corny. And let me see if this will work. Okay. So that's me, but I'm going to show you guys the actual screen. Okay. Where are you at? There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's the same one. Okay. Now can you see it? I'm so dumb. It's clearly late. Okay. I had to turn the camera around. Y'all, okay. Don't make fun of me. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. Is this working? Okay, I'm trying to get the right angle. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Yay, Vanessa. You won, girl. Okay. So thanks for the gold comedy. Oh my gosh, my brain is done. Can you see? Like, I'm not a person anymore. I'm just, yeah. So congratulations, Vanessa. I'll DM you, and if it's okay with you, I'll just ask your address, and I'll send you the book. I'll send it out this week, sometime this week, and just let me know when you get it, so that way I can make sure that it got there safely. And I'm so excited that you won the free copy. Okay. So I wish we could have done more sprints tonight, but as you can tell, I probably should go to bed now. I was like trying to look at I have my my YouTube channel pulled up here just so I can make sure everything looks like I want it to look. And I was like, why can't you see me? Why do you guys keep seeing my face? Guys, clearly. Okay, but I hope that you guys enjoy. If you do more sprints, I hope that you enjoy doing sprints tonight in Discord. I'll probably getting ready for bed, I will go back through and just like chat with you guys for a little bit, and then it's lights out for me. But thank you guys so much for joining again. I know this is kind of odd to have like 2 days back to back of sprints. It's not going to be like a weekly thing for me to do this like twice a week, but I am thinking about trying to do a little bit more sprints just because I do want to, um, you know, read more, and I have some books I need to get through this month. So these reindeer readathon sprints are going to be much needed. I have a little calendar. That's the last thing I'll say. But I have a little calendar here I printed out, and it just has like everybody's reading challenges or readathons or whatever. So like I have all the other reindeer readathon people when they're doing sprints and stuff. But so I know that we all have just started this book tonight, and I'm curious if you want to do more sprints with this book, like live sprints, or if you prefer to do them in our Discord chat or whatever. But we can always sprint together and do like more dedicated sprints. We probably won't have Lauren join us again, but I don't think it would take too long to read. So like I'm just looking, I'm probably a quarter of the way through the book, but you let me know. I'll chat with you guys about it, but I will be doing a 24-hour readathon at some point this month because I will have the time for it. But let me know what you guys think. And again, I appreciate you all for showing up and showing your support for both me and Lauren. And I will chat with you guys later. Bye. Good night.